How badly did the NFL screw up the La'el Collins thing? And how badly did La'el Collins himself screw up? Mike Fisher reporting from inside the Star, headquarters of your Dallas Cowboys in Frisco. A representative for La'el Collins has come out and tried to plead the case on behalf of his client that there is a blurred line or a series of blurred lines in regard to the 5-game suspension for Dallas Cowboys offensive lineman La'el Collins. And he's right about the blurred lines. That part is true. There's something very odd about what the NFL has done here in terms of the CBA. Some blurred lines. La'el Collins believes he's been victimized by the blur. Of course, be careful what you wish for, and I'll explain that in a moment. La'el Collins, the Cowboys starting right tackle, handed a 5-game suspension on the Friday following the Week 1 Thursday loss at Tampa. His plan is to file for an appeal based on 4 key points. The rules, as they relate to missed drug tests, call only for fines, not suspensions. 2, the rules do call for a suspension of a player if he fails to cooperate with the tester, seemingly meaning that if he shows up and then somehow doesn't comply once he's there, doesn't comply with what the tester is asking of him, then we've got a problem. But per some reports, Collins has been cited 7 times for failure to appear for testing, not for failure to cooperate. And that difference, way to go, NFLPA, you've done it again. That difference is a blurred line. Point 3, the failure to cooperate rules list the punishments as 1, 2, and 3 weeks salary for, respectively, 1, 2, and 3 violations. After that comes a 3-game suspension for 4 violations, a 4-game suspension for 5 violations. This is failure to cooperate now. An 8-game suspension for 6 violations, and then for a 7th violation, quote, banishment for an indefinite period of at least 1 calendar year. Wow. This is failure to cooperate. Point 4, Collins is contending that some of the testing dates that he missed came on days when the Cowboys had sent players home due to a COVID-related situation in the building, and that there were therefore mitigating circumstances. Okay, let's talk about these things, blurred lines, and the questions that don't have obvious answers, because I'm reading right in the CBA, and some stuff isn't in there. If Collins only missed tests, which is what his side is contending, why is he suspended? You cannot suspend him for missing tests. You can only suspend him for failing to comply. Why has the league and the NFLPA decided that a failure to cooperate, presumably once a player shows up to the testing place, is worse than not showing up at all? Why is it worse? If it's true, as Jason Lockenfor at CBS writes, that Collins has been tested roughly 10 times a month over the last 18 months, and according to sources, has not tested positive for marijuana once between October 21st, 2022 and August 11th, 2021, isn't that clean enough? But wait, that clearly comes, that's not just sources, that clearly comes from La'el Collins' agent. It couldn't be more, Jason, you're not hiding this very well. That's your source. That means that La'el Collins is already in the drug and substance abuse program. Probably entered it a long time ago. 10 times a month for the last 18 months? They've given La'el Collins 180 tests in the last year and a half? Really? I'm not very good at math. They give him a test every 3 days? I bet you that's not true. I'm just going to make you a gentleman's bet that that's not true. But the most confounding question of all, how did the NFL decide on a 5-game suspension when in the CBA rules there is literally no mention of a 5-game suspension on the punishment menu in any way? that I can see, and I'm reading right through it. There is no 5-game suspension. It's almost like King Solomon split the baby. Well, he did some of this and he did some of this. Let's give him some of this. But you can't. That's not in the rules, as I read them. There is simply no language that I've found in the new substance abuse policy that says 7 failures to appear or 7 failures to cooperate equate to suspension. Now, here's the be careful what you wish for component of this. Lyle Collins' side is saying, I didn't fail to comply 7 times. I failed to show up 7 times. Well, that's not good. And it is an admission that there is some magic number of 7. And the blurred lines. What did you do? What did he do? Did he show up, then turn around and leave? Does that count as showing up? Or does that count as failure to comply? Good job, NFLPA. Way to think this through. By the way, there's another wrinkle in this rule. If you are under investigation in the drug program of the NFL and you turn another player in, you get credit. Seriously. They reward you for being a stoolie to your own teammate. Way to go, NFLPA. You've done it again. The be careful what you wish for component is, again, the rules call for a 1-year suspension for 7 failures to cooperate. Well, I promise you right now, the league, just like Lyle Collins is getting the lawyers together, the league's getting ready to screw down on this and look into more deeply, something they should have done originally, what exactly did he do or did not do? If he showed up 7 times and then told the tester, bleep you, that is a failure to cooperate. That is a suspension for a year. Now, it's a stupid rule, but it's the rule. The Cowboys and Collins and the NFL can get to the bottom of that as soon as those involved settle the dispute about what is the difference between not showing up and not complying, and how to judge if there are mitigating circumstances involved in either. I would suggest this regarding the mitigating circumstances. This is the problem Lyle's going to have with this one. Hey, I was going to go to my test, even though I've missed 6 of them. I was going to go to number 7, but there was a COVID issue in the building and the Cowboys sent us home, so we did meetings via Zoom. That doesn't excuse you from going to your appointment. It has nothing to do with the COVID, go home COVID, day off work of COVID has nothing to do with the day off work of your testing. You still go do your testing. We said when this first happened that whatever Lyle Collins did, who's ever right, whatever the correct punishment, he did something wrong. If he was already in the drug program, then he did something wrong a while back. If he missed 7 tests, he did something wrong. If he showed up for 7 tests and didn't comply, according to the CBA, he did the wrongest thing of all. And I don't know how, even though you can take a great deal of time here and unravel all this junk, comply, show up, cooperate, positive test, negative test, fines, suspensions. You can unravel all of that stuff. And I don't see at the end, no matter what you find after you undo all the skins of the onion, I don't know how you get to the middle of it and go, Lyle Collins is completely innocent. It doesn't smell right. It smells like an onion. It doesn't smell right. Thank you for subscribing and hanging out with what we do on 105.3 The Fan and here as well. Your subscription is completely free and very appreciated. Your thumbs up beats the YouTube algorithms and tells you where the power of Cowboy Nation lies. And we are closing in on 35,000 subscribers now. And one of the reasons is because, as in this report on Lyle Collins, which I hope you appreciate, we give you the straight dope. No bullsh. Fish out.